talk about how the New England Patriots have yet to be successful without Tom Brady, but I would suggest that the New England Patriots have also yet to be successful without our next guest. And he joins us on the Harbor One hotline, my guy, Dante Says, the great Dante Scarnecchia. Dante, good morning.
Good morning, Greg. I hope everybody's doing good today.
Congratulations are in order. You have been named to the Patriots Hall of Fame as a contributor. And how did Bill tell you? Did Robert tell you? How did that happen?
Well, I went over to the stadium yesterday to be part of a panel reviewing the potential nominees for induction into the Hall of Fame, and I went there pointedly to make a case, a strong case, although I don't think he needs one, for Logan Mankins, who I was fortunate enough to coach for 8 years, 9 years, whatever it was. And then so in the middle of all that, Mr. Kraft came in and said he was going to execute executive privilege and put me in the Hall of Fame. So that's how it happened.
The video is so nice to watch. I know that our guy for Twitch has it that he's going to share with viewers right now, but you really did look so surprised and emotional, really. And you got a standing ovation, I saw. What's that moment mean to you when you look back at your full career?
Honestly, Courtney, you don't think of things like that. I mean, whoever thinks, I'm going to go into the Hall of Fame, that's for the players, it's for the head coaches, and it's for really, really special people around the organization or in the organization. And, you're just an assistant coach, so that really doesn't enter your mind. So it is really surreal in so many respects. And, believe me, I'm flattered by it and appreciative of it and all the rest of it. But, I don't think stuff like that. I just didn't expect anything like that, to be honest with you.
When it comes to getting there, though, to the Hall, how much credit do you give to Wiggy?
Wiggy was a huge part in our first Super Bowl. He made catches in the Raider game and in the championship game, and so forever, Jermaine Wiggins will hold a special place in my heart. Until he gets on one of his rants, then I have to throw him out.
Was his name even in the conversation yesterday? It should be.
Surprisingly, it wasn't. So I should have brought him up, but I didn't.
Right.
Maybe it had to do with that rant he was on ice cream 2 days ago. I wanted to take 2 pencils and stick them in my ears.
Well, listen, Dante, I feel like, unlike most people, I'm a little bit closer to Robert because I was a fan who ended up turning into a player. I didn't buy the team, but I know the both worlds of being sitting in those stands and then being able to be out on that field. I feel like, there's not many of us, and we should have a place in the Hall.
I think you're right. And you're making a hell of a case for it right now, Wig. So I think you're going to get in the next time.
All right. Me and Parcells.
Okay.
Dante, I wanted to ask you what you make of what's going on between Bill and Mac, and I'll throw Robert Kraft in there too. And it seems like to us as outside observers that there's a dysfunction that we've yet to have seen there. As somebody who was on the inside and was there, are we making that up, or is it a level of dysfunction that is yet to be seen?
I don't know, honestly. I think this. I think that 2 people know the answer to that one, and they're both in that building, and right now they're coexisting, and I think that they're both driven to do everything they possibly can to make this next season a successful season and get this thing going the way everyone wants it to go, including themselves. So I'm totally willing to let this thing go about its way. And look, you all have jobs to do, and this is like gasoline being thrown on a fire. Everybody revels in it because it's great for sports talk radio and the rest of it, and conjecture, and it's interesting to listen to. But I know Coach Belichick really well, and and we don't talk, but I know this man is driven to do as much as he can to make sure that this thing is successful next season. As he always says, decisions are made, but they're always made for the betterment of the team. And I'm going to take him at face value. And I know that Mr. Kraft's also driven to get this thing back to where it was. And both of them are of the same mind. So I'll let you all do the talking, and I'll do the listening and see where it all goes, and I'll just leave it at that.
But just because you do know Bill Belichick very well, can you imagine that if it doesn't work, that he would coach elsewhere?
I don't know, but what concerns me the most is I listen to this everywhere. Is that I often think about what life and I lived it, for a long time. I've been here a long time, but what life was like without him. And I'm not sure I want to go back to that.
Dante, one of the things that we talked about, or there were reports out there that, Mac had reached out to other coaches to, complain about what was going on. And one of the things that I felt like was the most important thing for Bill and that organization that he prided himself on more than anything was being able to trust you, loyalty, and keeping in-house problems in-house. And if that is something that Mac did, how would you feel as a coach if you found out one of your players was going to another coach to kind of basically complain about maybe what he's not getting?
I don't know Mac Jones. I met him one time, and I really like him, and I like the player. I've already expressed that, and I'm totally willing to let this thing carry itself out. I think everyone seeks out advice when things aren't going very well, and I don't know if any of that happened and who was talked to and who was not talked to. And so having said all that, to sit here and speculate about it would, give me a job and I'll come over there and I'll talk all I want, but I'm just not willing to do it. Because I'm not. I don't know the answer to any of these things, and I just want to let it play itself out and get the pads on and get going in the summer when it should be, actions should be speaking louder than words.
Dante, always great to hear from you. You have a unique ability to speak to the responsibilities of an assistant head coach with the New England Patriots. What was added to your plate when you took on that responsibility along with the offensive line coach?
Really nothing. I mean, there were times where, and there was only a couple times, and they were unfortunate times, when Bill's dad passed away and something that, he would say, look, I have to go, and I want you to chair the meeting this morning and get in front of the team. And then another time when, Bill had to go early to the first Super Bowl against the Rams because we didn't have an off week that year. That was the year of 9/11 and all the rest of it. And so he and the team went ahead, and all the assistants stayed behind. And he gave me some responsibilities for that. But there's not many of those things. And, it's a title that you have. And the second time I came back, I didn't have that title. And I was doing what I was doing the first time. So it's not a big deal. And, I think it's, something that's it's bestowed upon you. And if it comes up, you help where you can. And most of the time it doesn't. So you just rock along as an assistant coach.
Dante, you got plenty of time to get the speech ready, but if you had to make it tomorrow and you could only thank 3 people, who would they be?
Let's see. Mom, Dad, wife.
Smart.
That's a smart man.
Yeah.
And I would probably say, since the other 2 are no longer on this planet, wife, Mom, and Dad.
Smart man.
Really shafted Brady back there.
I look at it starts with family first. They're the ones that make all the sacrifices.
Well,
no doubt.
We could not be happier for you. Congratulations. Well deserved. And we will let you get off to pickleball. What time is the match this morning?
Oh, it starts at 8 o'clock. I'm going to Attleboro, Y. A lot of good players there. Quick story. The other day we were playing an intense match. and I got my feet all tangled up. I hit the floor. Of course, everything stops, and I had to yell to everybody, "I'm okay." You are. And this lady who I was playing with, her name's Joanne. She's a sweetheart. She came over and she goes, "Boy, you really know how to fall good." And I said, "Why did you say that?" Because you never hit your head. I was so proud of that moment, I couldn't see straight.
And in the Twitch chat, they want to know if you're trash talking out there with the rest of the people.
No trash talking.
Gentlemen.
If we ever play, I promise you, all hell will be unleashed relative to trash talking.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait. I tried to make that happen at a place in South Boston. I got to find another pickleball place because I want to do a show where you take Wiggy and I. You bring whoever you want as your partner. You probably have a go-to partner, and then Wiggy and I will take you on in pickleball, and maybe Courtney can
Wait a minute. Doesn't Courtney play?
Yeah, thank you. I always get forgotten here, Dante.
It could be you and Wiggy then.
Okay.
I'll announce it.
But Dante's a big trash talker. Don't let him fool you. He's a big-time trash.
I'm not. I'm very diplomatic. All right, Courtney, you'll be my partner, and we'll play against those two, and we'll slaughter them.
Perfect.
okay.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh,
Congratulations, Dante. Well deserved.
Yeah.
yeah, Dante.
Thanks a lot, you guys. Appreciate it.
All right.